we're also going to be making a Three Sisters soup, and the time that we're going to do is majority of it is going to be preparing the squash, cooking that, and then adding the corn and beans to it. It's going to be a basic soup because that soup you can add all types of different vegetables with that Three Sisters soup, and it's very economical. And we're going to show that it's not only it reduces your time and also the amount of consumption that you can make because you can always add more vegetables. Okay, so with squash, it's round. It's kind of it moves all over the place, and with squash itself, it's better to make sure you cut it to make a straight edge so it doesn't wobble all over the place. And one of the safest things that you can do is just to take that off and try to get a flat surface so it's not wobbling, and also just taking this part off too, and that way you can just cut it down the middle and it's not going to roll around.
Strong guys.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. Where's those strong guys?
They were in the other class. No.
Okay, and then with a spoon, you can take this out and just drag all the insides out. The nice thing about working with squash is if you don't have a squash, pumpkin can also be just as flavorful, and it has a unique texture too. So you can use any type of squash. I prefer making it with acorn squash only because it's just a little bit more sweeter. The spaghetti squash, it loses it's more stringy like spaghetti. Sometimes you don't have to use as much flavoring with this soup. The natural flavors from the vegetables nicely come in and make those the flavor in itself. It just depends on how much squash you use. I find if you like a lot of flavor, the squash is going to bring about a lot more texture and also color to the broth that you're making, because what we start off is just with water. One of the things that you can also do is you can add your onions to it. You can add, and that would be like your green onions or the Spanish. Okay, and then when we're ready for those, once these squash boil, the pieces, what we'll be adding is the green beans. But if anybody wants to come in, take a
Can I cut it in chunks?
yeah, we're going to cut in chunks. Just take these ends right here and just pull them off. Okay? All right. And then what we'll do is we'll wash them. Using your fresh vegetables is always better, but I know sometimes we look at trying to get frozen veggies. That's the next best thing, rather than the can.
Yeah.
The can has a lot more salt, preservatives in there. Okay, and the oven's on. You just put that on max. Okay, and then we'll just cut those up.
I'll just snap.
Yeah. Great. Okay. And we'll just leave those because those will be, we're not going to throw them in. We'll let them boil for a little bit. But if we have a soup that has all those vegetables, or maybe even a meat, or an old type of grain or plant, it will fill us to where we don't have that feeling that we're, that restlessness. The soup should be ready now because the squash was soft. So, This is so good.